Yes, ma'am. So my client is here. I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye. Come in.
Hello.
How you doing, Mr. Banks? Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
All right, come on, have a seat. How you doing?
It's been a long day.
Okay, you want to talk about it?
We can talk about it later.
Okay. Well, this is our third meeting, and I wanted to just kind of reiterate what we went over in the second meeting, stemming from when we met last Friday. Okay. So, all right, here's all your notes right here. I wanted to kind of get your feedback today on, your exploratory hypothesis. And what I mean by that is I want to talk a little more about things that your limited education and your limited work skills, how that may affect you getting a job, and kind of get some more suggestions from you on what do you feel that'll help you out with your current living situations, your education, things like that.
Okay. Well, are you asking me you're asking me how I feel about my limited education?
Well, what I'm asking you is, since you do have limited education and you have limited work skills, so that's kind of hindering you from getting certain jobs. Where do you see yourself wanting to be? Like, what are some suggestions that you feel that we can implement in our goal setting?
Um, I know working is very important,
Mm-hmm.
but getting my education, like getting in classes as soon as possible,
Mm-hmm.
that'll really help me, I feel.
Okay. So
Um,
school is on your list, and I know we talked about that at our last session about getting into school and working. And remember that I was telling you about the TANF program,
mhm.
and through that they have the VIEW program, and that is a work first program. So the main goal is to find work, and then secondary it'll be education.
Mhm.
Okay. I noticed that your wife wasn't here with you today. Did
No,
she?
she's at home with the kids. We didn't have anybody to watch them today.
Okay. That's fine, because we can still bring her in another time and talk about all of this with her to see if she's still on board and how she felt about that. So I also wanted to suggest some of my own primary attentions in finding a secondary I'm sorry, excuse me. I wanted to suggest my own things to you that we may can put into our goal setting and to see how you felt about that. I know that we last talked about your family genogram, and you stated that you had a big family, 6 siblings, and it wasn't a very extensive background with your family. And I want to assure you that we would try to change the dynamics within that. So, how did it go? Have you had any recent interviews or um, been filling out your applications?
I've been filling out applications. Um, I've been calling places
Mhm.
with my little phone because I finally got it.
Okay, great. That was going to be my next question.
And it seems like everybody's saying the same thing. We'll give you a call.
Right.
We'll let you know. I kind of going back to that hypothesis thing you was talking about. I
Mhm.
kind of feel like with me having limited education, people feel like they can get over on me
Mhm.
because I don't always understand everything that they're saying.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, by all means, you, even to myself, you have the right to ask, what does this mean? Can you explain this in a different way? And, by law, we have to make sure that you are competent and that you're understanding this information. And like we spoke about in the last session, don't feel embarrassed or anything. I want you to know that this is a comfortable environment, that we can sit line by line with this paperwork to make sure that you fully understand before you just sign it.
Mhm.
Okay? So with what we're going to talk about today is called SMART goals, and that's here we have specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and timely goals. And I thought that we could focus on the two important areas in your situation right now, and I know that's finding a job and getting housing. So how did you feel about that?
Yes, those are very
Okay.
important.
All right. So the specific would be to find employment. And can you tell me maybe how many applications you fill out a week?
Um, Anywhere from 2 to 5.
Okay. Do you think that we possibly could bump that up to maybe at least 10 a week, Monday through Friday? You're at least putting in 2 applications a day.
Yes.
Do you think that's achievable?
Well, I would like to say yes.
Okay.
But like I told you, being able to get to those type of resources and computer and then the
Okay.
time it takes to
Okay.
fill out the application and then the confusion and you gotta know this and did you receive that and it
I
just gets
understand.
very stressful.
Okay. Now, do you usually go to your local library?
Yeah, I usually walk.
Okay. Well, I also know that we have the Goodwill Outreach Center, and there they have open interviews. Sometimes, different management teams from different companies, maybe Lowe's or Target or something like that. They'll be at the Goodwill Center, and you dress in your professional attire and you take your resume there. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But on their off days when they're not doing anything, they do specialize in helping you. Create a resume or add to it or just to fix it up a little bit, and they also have computer classes where they can show you how to put in these applications. Is that something that you'll be interested in?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll make sure that you get the number to that, and most definitely check out Goodwill because they help with this type of stuff. And we want to make sure that you put in as many applications as possible because we want to at least get you to a realistic thing, maybe having an interview for every 5 applications that you put in. And I know that it can be very frustrating because you have these places that saying they're hiring, and then once you put it in, they're saying, well, hey, we'll give you a call back or something like that. You know? And then the ultimate goal is to at least have you working by 30 or 60 days. How do you feel about that?
I feel like that would be great. So I'll be able to take care of my family.
Right. So I know your daughter, she did receive Medicaid. The children and her baby girl, they did receive Medicaid. Okay, and then she got her baby girl into child care. Where is she going?
Child time.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Banks. So that was our first goal, making sure that we get the 2 applications in a day so that it equal up to 10 applications a week, Monday through Friday. And you can have a break on the weekends because I know that the library is usually not open on Sundays and they usually close early, about 6 o'clock on Saturdays and Fridays. Be aware of that also. I mean, I know some libraries, they stay open to 9, but some of them do close at 6 o'clock on the weekends. And I know that you said that you usually walk there. Goodwill's a further little distance, so are you still doing odd jobs for your neighbors?
Um, Not as often as I
Okay.
was. Just for the simple fact that I've been putting in these applications, so I've been hoping that I'll be able to get a job, and
Okay.
so I just
Okay, well, I was asking you that because I didn't know if you had it still that small amount of income coming in for bus fare or something. But here at the agency, we do have bus fares, so we'll get you set up with that so you can be able to go to Goodwill and everything. And make sure that you keep that phone on because if it's dead or off at the beginning of the month, your minutes won't be able to post to your phone. So keep that going because that's your way of contact right now to make sure that you're putting in these applications. And just in case you or your wife gets a call, then you'll be able to get that interview or speak to the employer.
okay.
So the second goal that I wanted to work on with you was the housing. How is that coming? Did you guys get a little more time or where are you staying?
We're still staying in our little trailer
Okay.
for the moment. We were able to catch a ride into the city
Okay.
a couple days ago to go to the housing office,
Okay.
and the lady she gave us this packet of work. I brought it with me. It's
Okay.
right here.
Is that from RRHA?
Yes.
Richmond Redevelopment Housing Authority. Okay.
And it was just I was wondering like when I came in if you could like help me understand some of it.
Okay.
Um, so that I could, could finish filling it out. Because me and my wife, we filled out what we could
Okay.
on here, but some of the things, we just didn't know when we needed
Okay.
help with.
No problem. All right, so we'll put that into your action plan. So we need to work on your housing as well as finding employment. And did you apply to all the houses that you can qualify for? The Section 8, the private owned
Hmm.
realties. Okay, awesome. So what do you have here?
Okay, this one is for a night for like the private owned houses because
Okay,
she said it's all Section 8, but they're like different because they're like different section of houses.
okay,
So this is the one we needed because we wanted a house, not an apartment.
okay. Well, let me ask you this. Will your daughter be living with you guys?
Um, no,
Okay,
I don't think she will because the lady was saying something about when they turn a certain age,
mm-hmm.
if they're already a certain age, they can't like live with us, but they had to be like younger first. So if she was 17 still, then
Okay, so
she could
under
have
the
went
age
on.
of 18.
Hmm.
Okay, excuse me. That makes sense. Well, right here was just stating how this location is a tax credit, and I was asking you because they do go based off of your income, and it sees here that they would reward you guys a utility check. That's to pay for your light bills and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Okay. And also, everyone in the home cannot be a full-time student, and that's another reason why I was asking, was your daughter going to be there? Because you may not qualify for it if you and your wife is planning on, looking into getting a GED, and if she's in school too.
Well, I don't understand why everybody couldn't be in school.
Well, it's just the way that the government finances this property. I don't know the details about it really, and that'd be something that we will have to talk to the management personnel at these locations. But you and your wife most definitely would qualify because everybody in your home is not a full-time student, correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, look, I mean, the kids go to elementary and high school.
Okay. But nobody's in like college or anything like that. Okay. All right. So the action steps. All right, so we already talked about your action steps where you're going to go to your local library. And right here, this part is really critical. Um, I want the goal to be that you at least go to your local library and to print off at least 10 copies of your resume. You're already going to have that uploaded to your computer, where the computer at the library when you apply for these jobs, but have these hard copies in hand. So when you start getting callbacks from the employers, you can already have that there to present it to them. And that's going to be in one folder. And I want you to get a second folder, and I'll provide that for you if you need the folders. But have all your credentials, like your birth certificate and your social security cards, for you and everyone that be living in the homes when you go to apply for the housing. Okay. So I know this is a lot of information, and we have a lot more to go. So any questions or concern before we really move?
You said to print the applications now. I know printing costs money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have the money, the funds to do
I
that.
understand.
This is very stressful, and I don't want to do this anymore.
Can you tell me why?
It's just very frustrating. Like it's so much stuff.
Right. Well, before you give up, I want you to really just kind of take a minute and just think about why you're doing this. Why are you getting housing so you won't be homeless? Why are you getting a job so you can pay for this housing and you can pay for the essentials that you and your family need? So I'm in here to help you commit to these goals, and I'm here to support you through it before you give up. And we have the resources that you need, like the bus passes, and if you needed help with the printing, we can find the resources for that as well. So don't get overwhelmed and stressed, when there are ways to meet the needs. Okay. Um, okay, so you guys were already receiving food stamps. Did you guys ever reconsider about the counseling?
Um, Berdina said that she would like to do counseling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if Berdina wants to do the counseling, I guess we could do, the counseling. Um, Sometimes I'm not really sure about the kids because the kids can be very nonchalant.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not bothering us, but I can see it in their eyes sometimes when the kids tease them at school,
Mm-hmm.
and they come home and they look all sad or they've been
Right.
crying and they've been trying to keep it from us.
Most definitely. Kids, they know a lot more than what we think that they know. And they are very observant and they're like little sponges. So when you and your wife may think like, okay, well, let's have this conversation private, they can sense the energy and they can sense what's going on. So I think that counseling would be very beneficial for everybody in the household. And when kids get into a unfamiliar place, they tend to open up a little more. I mean, at first they may be withdrawn because they don't know about sharing with a stranger, but when they're outside of your presence, they feel a little more comfortable to share because they don't have to worry about whether I hurt mom or dad's feelings or not.
Mhm.
And then it's always good to kind of encourage them, if you have any types of feelings, to come to us and talk about it. You and your wife can sit your children down and really go over what's happening at school. And speaking of that, how are the grades and how are they coping with the living situation?
Um, their grades are okay. One of our daughters, her grades are just exceptional. She
Okay, awesome.
she just is one of the twins. She's just like, hey, I see how we're living, and I don't want to live like this,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be able to help y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So she just tries her best in school, and she tries to help her brothers and sisters. But sometimes they can be like me and get discouraged and not want to do it anymore. But she keeps a positive mind most of the time.
Okay. Well, I did receive news of a program that's getting ready to open up. It's maybe like a block or two away from you, and it's called CAP. And what that is an after-school program for um, at-risk kids, kids that are living within under the poverty level and that they are at risk. Maybe they've gotten into some trouble or something like that with their course. Not that your kids have, but it's a good outreach program because they stay after school with the parents' permission, and then you have to pick them up about 5:30. But they go over activities, they do the homework,
Mhm.
and I have really seen that it has boosted kids' academic levels, their self confidence, and even any behavior issues that they may have.
So do they not have like school buses that could run? Do they not have that option?
No, unfortunately they don't. Usually they don't take the bus home, and you'll have to pick them up. And if it's close, I can't remember exactly how close it is, but if it's close enough for your kids to walk or for you to meet them, then they can walk home.
Okay, I'll talk to Bernadina about it
Okay,
and see what she says.
so I give you that, and it's through the Youth and Human Services right over here in Colonia Heights. Get that number for you. Okay. So tell me, how's the tension been in the household? Because I know you were saying how you and Berdina were kind of going through some tension with each other because of the finances and just the move, having to move itself.
It's been very challenging. We have our good days and we have our bad days. And sometimes I feel like Berdina regrets being with me
Mm-hmm.
because her mother and her father kind of went through the similar situation that we're going through now.
Right.
So I never want her to regret our marriage because I can't, have us be in a certain place.
Right. Now I can understand that, and I know finances put a lot of strain on marriages. And this is why I suggested that, you guys may want to go to counseling so you can have that type of mediation, and extensive services more than that I can provide you with. Um, Were you guys were you guys able to go to the furniture bank? Because I know you didn't have access to a television, and you may wanted some new furniture. So did you get in contact with Caritas?
Yeah, we were able to get in contact with them. We were able to catch a ride and pick out what we wanted, and then
Okay.
they said that they would deliver it to us. And
Okay.
so, I mean, we did get that. So, if nothing else came out of our last meeting besides the phone and putting the paperwork together, we got our furniture.
Okay. And did you have any questions from up to Friday, or am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing anything. Okay. Well, I know that we were still putting in the application, but did you ever get in contact with the unemployment fathers program?
Um, I want to say they called me the other day,
Okay.
but because it falls under the TANF and we hadn't finished the paperwork for the TANF
You
yet.
had not finished the paperwork?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
They told me to give them a call back once we finish it, so we almost done with that.
Okay. Now I want you to know that that is one thing that you want to kind of put a rush on,
Mhm.
because that'll be some type of income for your family
Mhm.
until you can find employment. Can you tell me why didn't you finish it? Did you need help with that?
Yeah, I had some questions about that too.
Okay.
So I brought it with me.
Okay. Well, I know that our session is coming to an end. So far, you did get the Medicaid. Your family is on SNAP. You reached out to Caritas for your furniture. Our two goals are to focus on our employment and our housing. That's still a goal. Okay, and then you want to bring your wife in the family for counseling.
Mhm.
Okay, and then you said you did get the phone. Okay.
Yes, I've been working on some of the goals that we had previously established,
Mhm.
but sometimes it was so much in that one goal that it was like too much to reach at
Okay.
one time. So I feel like if we just got to take it a little bit slower and do like maybe two things at a time and not like five things at a time. I mean, if
Absolutely.
I could like comprehend the five things as you were telling me at one
Okay.
time, then that would be okay. But the way you've broken it down today, where we'll just go ahead and work on two specific goals like
Yeah. So you
finding employment. So
and
first
doing at
I
least 2 applications a
yeah,
day.
so finishing my TANF, and once I do that, I feel like that'll be able to help me with the finding employment and filling out the applications. Because of whatever the unemployed fathers, whatever they gave me, it could help me with that goal as well.
Now, the TANF won't necessarily help you with finding employment. That's still going to have to be your action towards these things, putting in the applications like we talked about, and kind of following up with the places that you applied for. The TANF is to give you a monthly allowance so that you can maintain your bills until you're sufficient to do it on your own.
Okay, but I mean, okay,
Okay.
but the way you have it laid out
Right.
makes sense.
And I'm going to give you a copy of all of this. And, but for right now, you do have an understanding and agree to the goals that we've set together, right?
Yes, so to
Okay.
find employment, to print the job applications, to,
Print your resume.
yeah, and then to go to the Goodwill when I
Right.
can get there and then have it done in the timely manner. I
Right.
believe that maybe I'll have a job in the
Okay.
next couple of weeks.
Now that's going above and beyond. I hope that you do also. So I want to meet back with you in another week just so we can kind of see how this session played out. If you got anywhere with your job leads, if you got anywhere with your housing leads. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So it was nice seeing you today.
Nice seeing you too.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem.